Alright then, so we are now about to head towards the green light source in the distance in order to start our search for Zelda. As you may notice, there is no, well, familiar intro as there was before. That's because I'm going to try something new with this recording setup. As you can see, this is the first session of many. I'm going to try and make it as transparent and easy to do later on. But for now, forgive me as I try this for the first time ever. I'm going to make sure, well, I'm going to try and record in one big session and cut it into parts so that I have a lot more content to produce rather than in episodes. Makes it easier on my part, and hopefully the quality stays just about the same. So we must observe the green pillar, but the camera, oh, we're supposed to observe it on our map. You can confirm your current location on the map. Oh wait, we're confirming I am not green pillar. I am not green pillar. Anyway, so we're going to go towards the big green column and hopefully begin this journey on the right foot. Because we're right-handed this time around. Left-handed people are stupid. Wait a minute. I'm left-handed. So this is where my biggest gripe with Skyward Sword comes in play. As you can see, we are currently fenced in and we must go only in one direction. My problem with Skyward Sword is not that it is a linear game, but that it feels like a linear game. Previous games such as Twilight Princess, you cannot argue, were very linear. You could explore, but you had this feeling and ability to explore stuff and see what lies ahead. Not so much in Skyward Sword. You were kind of led along, and I mean, I don't mind having linear games, don't get me wrong. Not all games have to be this massive exploration-based thing. But it felt good in Twilight Princess, while in this game, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're exploring, more being led along the path. Oh, shoot! I know why he's stopping. He realizes I forgot to talk about the enemies. Dang it! You know what? Oh god, the great demons of hell, they are going to consume my soul for not bioing the Deku Babas. No! Oh no, it really is. See? Even Link agrees. Because Link's gonna facepalm. Well, he actually hit himself too hard with the facepalm. Who knows? Maybe we'll see that creature again sometime. Anyway, now that we have the ability to walk around again, I probably should talk about what we had just seen. Those creatures we will see later on in the forest, so you don't have to worry too much about, well, me missing out on killing them. But I can have a vital talk about what those things are, and even bring up something that I had mentioned earlier, maybe, about what Fee can do when it comes to enemies. But for now, since we can't go forward, it's probably best that we go investigate what that thing was down there, and if it is even still down there. Sure, you can sometimes daydream or have illusions, but at the same time, we're going to realize that those things can sometimes be real, because this is a game, and a world, I should say, where anything is possible. Anyway, come down here and, oh. Child of destiny descended from the sky. You speak so slow. This is another thing that drove me nuts in previous games that's not so big in this one, but it's just, I don't understand why the text has to be so slow. At least I can, if you hold down A, by the way, text will go by faster. Just be careful if you're trying to read it, not to tap A, because then you'll end up, well, causing problems for yourself. Well then, that was simple enough. And we got a shortcut back up to the surface. Hip hip hooray. Master Link, I'm sensing a change in the area that was triggered by your Skyward strike. I have also detected an aura that correlates closely to your sailcloth. I surmise this aura belongs to Zelda. I can lead you in the direction of this aura through a process known as dowsing. Would you like me to explain this process to you? No, we're good. I can tell them. Understood, Master. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't matter if you tell them. Fee still tells you the basic gist of things and how to use dowsing. Even later on, it's very common. Anyway, if you go ahead and douse and calibrate your Wiimote, you'll notice that we take our sword out and we now have a purple circle in our screen that's kind of pulsating. Well, if you point in the right direction, it'll pulsate and also point you in a general direction if you're close with an arrow, and it'll also show you where you'll want to go. This feature is quite useful for newcomers, but core Zelda gamers and people who enjoy exploring, I would recommend you turn this off, because sometimes getting lost in the world helps you find those secrets, and you know which ones I'm talking about, that help you, well, experience the game to the fullest extent. We haven't come across any of these secrets yet, but we certainly will. Anyway, we go ahead and sprint back up here, use our epic Call of Duty skills of sprinting everywhere, and we will make our way to the top of this giant circular... Is it a hill? No, God, no! I knew that would happen one day. Alright, so we gotta take the lower one this time, and we'll end up probably right where we need to be. Yep, indeed. And there's some heart flowers here. Keep in mind, if you are playing in hero mode, you will never see a single heart in the game unless certain prerequisites are met. Oh my god, if I speak fast, I notice I have a lot more blips in my commentary. Yeah, I know, behind the scenes stuff. Don't worry about us, let's push the door open. Now, as we walk in here, you'll notice that in the distance, there's a light, and, you know, you're normally compelled to explore the ominous things. I would recommend you do two things first. One, you come over here, well, three things, I'm sorry. One, you come over here and make sure you save. We're certainly going to save. Fantastic. The next thing I want you to do is come over here to the left. Over here in one of these jars, is a fairy. If you think you'll have trouble with this game, and in hero mode I recommend it, go ahead and grab this fairy in a bottle. You found a fairy! This playful sprite replenishes 6 of your hearts. Now, if you go over to the left side of this place, you will find more jars, but a small treasure chest. If you feel you didn't have another jar to put the fairy in, you will get another empty bowl. A bottle that's filled with a revitalizing potion. This is why I recommended you get the heart potion earlier in the game, because, well, you'll have a revitalizing potion as soon as you come into the sealed temple, which is not too far away. Anyway, we come up here and talk to this lady. And with her magic hair, she will open the door. Well, no, not her hair. It's more... Sorry, that's me being silly. She clearly is a spellcaster, and she clearly knows a lot, so... listening to her might be a good idea? Know that all questions you have now will be answered in time. For now, Link, go bravely. Alright, well, Brave is our middle name. Well, we only have a first name, because even I don't know what the middle or last name of my character is. I could make one up. I could be clever. Or anti-clever, if that's also what that would probably do for me. Anyway, as you can see, the beacon is now in the air, and we have a way to go forward. For me, however, I much prefer to kind of turn that off. Because again, getting lost in the world and exploring is a key aspect of the Zelda universe. And this is one of the gripes I do have with Skyward Sword. But, if we jump down here, we will have one of its strengths. Out of the way, scram! As you can see, there are a bunch of creatures. These creatures are bokoblins. Red bokoblin, for example. These monsters have plagued the land since ancient times. They each play different roles, and their weaponry varies. They prefer to act in groups. None of them are intelligent by any definition of the word. Curiously, they seem to have a mysterious obsession with fashionable undergarments. I have defeated 0 of this enemy. This is one of the biggest strengths I feel in Skyward Sword. The flavor text for enemies. I just feel that it adds so much more to the depth of the game when everything you kill has a specific, bio. Rather than just like, this is how you kill this enemy. It feels so much better. Woof, thanks for jumping in there to rescue me, bud. Another big strength, I believe, are the characters. Just who were those red pests? I did not expect to run into a pack of them in this peaceful forest. Same goes for you. This is the second time I've bumped into one of your kind today. I tell you, all sorts of weird things are on lately. I owe you big for taking care of those guys. So let me tell you something fascinating. Hey, bud, I'm Gorko the Goron. I am researching the ancient history of these woods here. According to the ancient text, there is some kind of place up above called the Isle of the Goddess, far up in the sky. Apparently, these old statues served as landmarks to those traveling up to the sky or down from the Isle of the Goddess place. If you find one, be sure to examine it to keep tabs on the number of landmarks. They are rumored to be quite useful. Supposedly, this statue is special, as it is said to have the ability to activate all the other statues. The whole thing sounds a little crazy, I know, but I, for one, believe it to be true. Otherwise, why would all these statues be all over the place? It is a real head-scratcher, bud. Makes you want to know more, does it not? Yeah! Learning! Sounds like I have a fellow connoisseur of ancient cultures here. Alright, bud, you had better brace yourself because I am about to blow your mind. So get this, people actually live on this sky island, and they get around by flying on the backs of huge birds that are way bigger than birds down here. Up there, everyone reveres the goddess, and the residents of all the islands in the sky live in a perfect society, totally free of conflict or unhappiness. Not only that, but from what I can tell, their civilization is way more advanced than ours down here. But it does not even stop there, bud. This Isle of the Goddess has even more stuff to marvel at. The place was crafted by the goddess herself, so it figures that it is filled with wonders we do not have here. The buildings are all made of gold, an endless spring of mystical water feeds a river through the place. One sip of that stuff and you live forever. The trees are heavy with plump fruit that cures all diseases. The fields are crowded with pumpkins that never rot. Magic wildflowers bloom everywhere. And the weather, oh the weather, bud, not too hot, not too cold, no chance of sweaty heat in the garden paradise. That is the Isle of the Goddess. Amazing, right? Wrong, it is beyond amazing. You want to hear more about it, don't you, bud? Sure. Good to hear, bud. I am completely obsessed with this place. I cannot get enough of it. I wish I had more to tell you now, but I will need to research these statues to learn more. Next time I bump into you, I will give you the latest info. Sure thing. I wonder what this statue might even do for us. Oh my god, it's a shiny statue. Whoa. What in the world just happened? Did you use some kind of magic? The statue reacted the moment you got near it, bud. How crazy is that? Now, if you're wondering why we could activate the statue inside of the temple, but not this one, the reason for that is that this statue has the ability to send us back to the sky if you ever need to do anything back up in the clouds. We will utilize this definitely a few times. However, for now, it's probably best that we don't. Goro!